We're looking forward to a really great presentation today. So when we're done with the presentation, we're going to share a few announcements of some things that are coming up that we hope you'll join us in. But first, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Margaret, who's adjusting. So Margaret is our Health and Wellness Team Chair. And Health and Wellness Team does a lot of very cool things, including making sure we have great presentations every month. So I'm going to turn it over to Margaret, and she's going to introduce our presenter.
Excellent. Everybody has their own way. Okay, can you hear me okay? Good.
Yes.
Okay, well, as Jean told you, I'm the team lead for the Health and Wellness Department, and or not department, team. And we do the speaker presentations, and we're very pleased with them, and we're very proud of them. So I'm glad you all made it here today. We have a great speaker. It's Brittany Howard, and she is the Technical Assistant Program Manager for the Virginia Department of the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. And their main mission is to remove barriers to effective communication so that persons with hearing loss can fully participate in all aspects of life. Brittany started her involvement with the community when she was in elementary school. She had some friends in her class that were deaf, and she was very frustrated that she couldn't communicate with them. And I can just see your little 8 or 9 year old self marching yourself into the classroom, and her 3rd grade teacher began to teach her how to sign so that she could communicate with them. And that led her to a journey which took her to Gallaudet University in Washington, D.C., where she received a bachelor's in science for deaf studies. And since then, she has been very passionate and very active with her advocacy for the hearing loss. And we're very lucky to have her here today. She's going to talk to us about the services that are specifically available in Virginia, and I think she has a lot of really cool toys to introduce us to too. So welcome, Brittany.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here with you guys today to talk about one of my favorite topics. But again, I'm with the Virginia Department for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, and we are a state agency who strive to remove communication barriers for individuals with a hearing loss or speech difficulties. Okay, so to help us work towards our mission, we've got a couple different programs that we have. I'm gonna quickly go through this, and then we'll get to the good stuff. We've got our interpreter services programs. So we coordinate interpreters for state government agencies. So for like courtrooms, if someone needs to go take their driver's test and needs an interpreter, we would coordinate for that. We also maintain a directory of qualified interpreters. So if, for say, a doctor's office needs to hire an interpreter, we can help guide them to how to secure an interpreter for that appointment. We also coordinate CART services, which is a live captioned service. So kind of like over here on this phone where you see some captions going on, or if you've ever seen someone making captions in a courtroom, that would be like a CART service. We also offer our community services program, and they do things like this. They go out and talk to the community to raise awareness about hearing loss. Our services, they go out and train the state police officers to how to effectively communicate with someone with hearing loss at a traffic site, how to identify they have hearing loss and things like that. We've got our technology assistance program, which is what I'm going to talk to you guys more in depth about in just a second, but it provides telecommunications equipment to individuals in the state of Virginia with a hearing loss or speech difficulties for either no cost or low cost. And then we have Virginia Relay, which provides telecommunications access to individuals with a hearing loss or speech difficulties. So again, it's going to be like that captioning service like you see on this phone here. That's going to be an example of Virginia Relay. So within the technology assistance program, We've got a couple different things. We've got our communications category, which includes our telephones, and then our personal amplification devices. Then we have our signalers. The first group I'm going to talk about is our telecommunications, so our telephones. So this is one of our amplified phones. One of my favorite things about this is it has a slowdown for the speech. So how many of you have ever experienced someone leaving their telephone number for you so fast you gotta listen to it 6 times, right? Yeah, me too. I hate it. You can slow it down on this phone. So if they leave you a message, it's got an internal answering machine. If they leave you a message and they're going 8 miles or 80 miles an hour giving you their telephone number, you can slow it down. It also has an amplification button to amplify the incoming sounds, but also the outgoing sounds. So what that means is if someone has a speech difficulty as well, maybe they have a weak voice, and they notice that when they're on their phone, people are having issues hearing them, they can boost their speech on the phone. It's got the screen for caller ID services in case they already have that set up so they can see who's calling. But it also has built-in strobes. So when it rings, it's gonna flash. The ringer is actually amplified as well. And it has a flash here as well. So the base where it charges will flash, and then wherever you leave this will flash and ring as well. We also have cell phone amplification accessories. Seems I don't have that with me today, but on the screen it's the far right, this guy right here. And what's really cool about him is he connects to a smartphone with Bluetooth and can work up to 30 feet away from your phone. So if your phone's in the kitchen and you're maybe upstairs doing laundry or making your bed, and your cell phone rings, but you have that amplifier with you, you can answer right there and then have that amplified conversation right there with you. We also have our captioned phones. So again, this one is also an example of Virginia Relay. So it provides the captions so the caller or the user can read it and then verbally respond if they're comfortable using their own voice. What's really cool is it also doubles as an amplified phone. And if the individual has a copy of their latest audiogram, we can actually program it into this phone so that the amplification piece tries to get to the amplification level that the user needs. It has a built-in answering machine. So the messages will be captioned. It can save your history or it can't, whichever the user prefers. If you don't want it to save, you just delete that feature. But that's really good if you need to remember when you're supposed to meet your friends for lunch, go to your doctor's appointment, your hair appointment. It's there for you to reference. So within that same category, we've got our personal amplification devices. Now the concept of these are very similar to a hearing aid. Of course, it's not going to be the same as if you go to your audiologist and have one customly designed for you. It's just an alternative or something that you can use in addition to. So the first one we have is our pocket talker. Very user-friendly. So the headphones just go around your ears. The microphone will pick up sounds to amplify. The volume functions as the on-off button, so you can adjust the volume and the tones. And the tones come in handy for if you struggle with different tones. For example, I struggle to hear a deep male's voice. So if I was having a conversation with a male that has a really deep voice and I was using this, I would start toggling through the tones to try to amplify that for me so that I could hear the gentleman that I'm having that conversation with. So that's the purpose of the tones. What's really nice about this that most of our consumers love is it has a microphone extension cord. So what people love to use this for is TV. So you can hook in the extension cord. Sorry, it's weird hearing myself breathe through this microphone. I'm like holding my breath, but it's making me worse. It's making it worse.
You can move the mic to the side a little bit more if you
Okay,
like.
cool. I just didn't want to.
Try that.
Whoops, can you still hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, cool. Let's see. So you can hook this up and set this by your TV. I'm gonna set that there, pretend my TV's there, and relax in your favorite lazy boy or whichever your favorite couch is, and watch your TV show. Or if you go to a lot of meetings and maybe everybody sits at a big table like this, you can pass the microphone around so you can get everybody's whatever they're saying at their time to speak, so that you have access to that. Yes.
Does that keep you from having to turn the volume up real loud?
On the TV,
Uh-huh.
that can, yep, absolutely. So I do have some clients who, their husband, wife, and one of them kicks the TV volume all the way up, and so sometimes this really does come in handy for them, yes. The next option, and this is just sort of a sneak peek of what we have. This isn't everything that we have, just so that you guys know. This is also our pocket talker. This is a little bit of an upgrade. We do still have both. This is the Pocket Talker 2.0. Some people like this one just because the shape's a little bit different. It's easier for them to hold. Some people feel like this one's easier for them to hold. It's just user preference. They both do the same thing. The volume is your on or off switch. You can adjust the tones, and then it still has that microphone extension cord. So if you want to watch your TV, take it to meetings, you can do that. It also has a T-coil switch. And what that means is if you have a hearing aid with a T-coil switch, you can activate your T-coil, and instead of using your headphones, you can use a neck loop instead. And the sounds get transmitted to your hearing aid directly, kind of like Bluetooth technology. So that's pretty cool. And that is available with all of our listening devices. And this is the Comfort Duet. You can adjust the volume, the tones, and the balance. So what that means is if you have a greater hearing loss on one side versus the other, we can boost the sound to come out that side that needs it. It also has rechargeable batteries. So at the end of the day, when you're done using it, you just set it in the charger and it charges for the next day. The Pocket Talkers, they do not have rechargeable batteries. So once the batteries die, that is something that needs to be replaced. But this one's very cool. The only thing that I always advise my consumers about this is to make adjustments in the settings. There's a teeny tiny hole in the back of the device that you have to poke to get to those features. So sometimes it's a little hard to manipulate, but we always work with the consumers during our assessment process to make sure that you guys are getting the equipment that's right for you. The next one is our Mino. The sound quality on this one is really impressive. It has 2 built-in microphones. It has a directional one, so if there's a lot of background noise going on, you can try to focus on the person that you're having a conversation with, or it has an omnio mic, which means it's going to open up a broader range, so you're going to get everything in that surrounding area to amplify. One thing that I always also caution with all of our amplification devices is it will amplify any and all sounds that it picks up. So if you go out to lunch and you get seated near the kitchen and they're clickety clinking in the kitchen, you're gonna hear the clickety clinking. If you've got it clipped to you and you're like me and you talk a lot with your hands, you might get that of it rubbing against your clothes. So just something to be mindful of. Not a huge deterrent, just something to be mindful of.
Can you turn the second mic off?
Yes. Yep, you can flip through and tell the Mino basically which one you want to use.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Does that have Bluetooth capability to, if you have
Bluetooth in your
earphones
hearing aid?
Yeah, rather than having to have a wire?
So the question is, does that have Bluetooth hearing aids if you've got Bluetooth capabilities to connect with a Bluetooth hearing aid? So this Mino doesn't, but we're currently testing one of an option called the Maxi Pro that does. So once we start getting more comfortable with it, we'll start releasing it. If you have Bluetooth hearing aids and you're interested in something like that, that's something that me and you could definitely discuss.
Wouldn't want to see the wire come up all the time. You know?
Absolutely, but if you have the telecoil, it's the same thing. Absolutely, so you would just activate the telecoil, hook up the loop, and then it would go up kind of like Bluetooth technology. Okay, so our next category is our signalers, depending on someone's needs. So we have standalone things like doorbell signalers. So if someone's just needing a doorbell signaler, it's plug and play, just requires an electrical outlet, and then it comes with its own doorbell. But anytime your visitors click your doorbell, this is gonna do a flash, and then it's gonna do a chime. It has 3 different chimes available with it, with different tones, so that hopefully the user can find one that's easy for them to hear. But then it also has that visual notification as well. Our most popular signaler, did I see a hand? No, okay. Our most popular signaler is our all-in-one alarm clock. This is our, we call it our CA360Q. Comes with a bed shaker, so this would go either on your mattress, under your mattress, if you're a heavy sleeper, inside your pillowcase. It's got the tactile notification. It's gonna give you a visual, it's gonna flash, and it's also gonna give you an audio. It's gonna beep, and then it's gonna tell you why it's ringing. So I'm gonna trigger it, just to let everybody know, I'm gonna trigger it, show you what it would look like. But you can set 2 different alarm clocks with it. Comes with a doorbell signaler, and then there's other accessories that can pair with it, and I'll talk to you about that in just a second. But
Doorbell ringing.
Whoa.
Doorbell ringing. Doorbell ringing.
so have the big doorbell picture pop up. There's other things that can be paired with it. This is one of the audio accessories that go with it. This one has a picture of a baby on it because it's essentially a baby crier for someone who needs to hear a baby crying. But we have one that will listen out for smoke detectors as well. So if someone's worried about taking their hearing aids out at night or their cochlear implant off at night, and they're worried about hearing their smoke detector, this would listen out for their smoke detector. And anytime that goes off, it would trigger the actual unit to go off. There's also remotes that can be paired with it. So if you're needing additional signals throughout your home, you can pair a remote with it and set this up somewhere else. And that's really helpful because typically the alarm clock is set up in your bedroom, but you might need to know when your visitors are coming while you're in the kitchen cooking, while you're watching TV, so that's when the remote would come in handy. You can also plug in the bed shaker to this if you're needing a tactile notification with it as well. It's gonna flash and do a loud chime for you. And then the pictures up at the top are gonna light up to show you why it's ringing. So it's not as big of a picture as the alarm clock has, but it does still show you why it's ringing. And then there's also an accessory for a smartphone. So let's see here. So if you no longer have a landline phone, you just have a cell phone and you want to know when your cell phone's ringing at night or during the day, you can set your cell phone on this. Anytime your cell phone goes off, it's going to give a cell phone notification message to the alarm to alert you that your telephone's ringing. Okay. So, and all this is available to Virginia residents at either no cost or low cost. Veterans, do I have any veterans in here? No? Oh, okay, a couple. Thank you so much for your service. You guys automatically qualify for free. We just asked to see your Virginia state residency and then a copy of your discharge paperwork or just something showing that you are a veteran. We're looking for the word honorable on your discharge paperwork, okay?
Picky.
I know. I don't make the rules, I just follow them, okay? And then we ask for your legal name, your physical address, contact information so we know how to get a hold of you. And then we'll ask for your family size because our regulations state that if you're not a veteran, that we do need to verify your family size gross income. So in our family size is defined by our regulations as the applicant and whoever their dependents are or who they're dependent upon. So if it's a husband and wife, we would see the husband and wife. So if they've got children, but the children are grown and they're living out on their own, we don't want to see their children's income. We just want to see the husband and wife. And from that, that's how we determine if you qualify for free or not. We can disclose our financial guidelines if you have a question about them. We can let you know if you sound like you would fall into it or not. And then we do a certification process where either you can go to your medical professional or us to just confirm that you have a hearing loss. We don't do any hearing testings or anything like that. Our assessment is just, we have a conversation, where are you struggling? Have you consulted a doctor before? And then we go from there. And then, yes, okay. So once you get the equipment from us, you have 30 days to use it. During that 30 days, if you feel like I hate this, I want to try something else out, you just let me know. My feelings won't be hurt, we just try something else out. If you love it, I just click you over as accepted and I let the state know where my funds went, and then that's yours. If you decide you want to move to Hawaii, take your equipment with you, don't give it back to me. So we are an owner state here in the state of Virginia, which is really cool. Other EDPs, equipment distribution programs, in other states require you to give it back, but Virginia is very unique where we let you keep it. And then everything has a 1-year warranty. So if it breaks, I can replace it or repair it. Outside that 1-year warranty, I wouldn't be able to help you, but every 4 years, you can reapply for new or additional equipment. If something happens after your 1-year warranty, I don't leave you hanging out there to dry. I will help you figure out how to go about getting it repaired. I just wanted to clarify that. And that kind of concludes my presentation for today. This is my contact information if you have any questions, but I would also love to open it up for any questions that you guys may have. Yes?
So when we spoke, and I hope I got this right, I think something so valuable is that you said that you would do an assessment for regardless of income.
Yes.
And that the self-pay option is available. So if you could talk about that.
Yes, thank you. She reminded me about the pay process. Yes, okay. So if you do not qualify for free, thank you, we offer what we call a pay coupon process. So we can still help you out. We'll do the assessment with you. We'll let you try the devices, and then we offer you to purchase it from us directly for our cost. So for example, this Mino retail price is about $370, but through our program, it's about $180. So it is a big discount. You still get the 1-year warranty, the support from us with the training. And then every 4 years you can come back and either reapply or purchase additional. So that is.
Where are you
Pasco.
located?
Where am I located? So, I'm located in Richmond, Virginia is where my office is. I live in Stafford County. But we have an office. I do have an office in the Fredericksburg area. Do you guys know where the 4 Mile Fork is in Fredericksburg? Like Spotsylvania Avenue? I'm over there. If you're familiar with like where DARS, the Department of Aging and Rehabilitative Services, or Germanna Community College is, my office is over there. I do require appointments in that office because I have to report to Richmond every day. So I just would make sure that I'm in the Fredericksburg office before you guys try to surprise visit or anything. But we also have providers all throughout the state of Virginia that help us facilitate this program.
You have that, we can get those flyers?
Yes, they are actually on the back table right there. Yep, and my business card is back there too. I currently don't have a service provider for this area, so you guys get to work with me. So, if you're interested. Are there any other questions?
Is there a limit to the number of places?
Is there, I'm sorry, what?
Is there a limit to the number of places you were qualified for?
So, the question is there a limit to how many devices we can get? So there is. So, we do one from each category. With the exception of the alarm clock, you get to choose an accessory with it. So if you get the alarm clock, you get to choose one more thing. But yeah, 1 and 1. So one, either pocket talker or telephone, and one signaler. Any other questions? Yes.
You had said you can apply after 4 years, but let's say you start out with this level of need, and you get very least, and then 2 years later, your need is up here. Does that 4 year still apply?
So the question is, with the every 4-year waiting period, if my needs change, what can we do? Yes, we can reassess you. If we're unable to identify that your needs have increased or changed, I might say I need medical documentation, but I can work with you. Yes, absolutely. Any other questions? Yes.
I've got 2 questions for you. I guess number 1 would be, can we call, make an appointment to come in and see you, because we're not really sure what our needs are?
Yes,
And you
absolutely.
would help us, like, because I think that would be worth a conversation.
Mhm.
And number 2 is, way back in the beginning, when the device that had the captions, interpreting the voicemail, how reliable is that? I mean, voicemail, you get such weird interpretations of some voices that, it doesn't make any sense sometimes.
Yes. So 2-part question, can we make an appointment to see you before we apply? Yes. Second question was, how reliable is our CAFTEL phone? So the CAFTEL phone actually has an individual on the line. Nobody knows that they're on the line. They're restricted to HIPAA, just like I am. They're not allowed to release your information, anything like that. But they're there revoicing everything into their automatic speech system to caption the words. And then they're also there to make sure that it's accurate. And if something is inaccurate, they go in and force a correction. So I think it's pretty accurate. We haven't had too many complaints. Every once in a while we'll get a complaint about it, but sometimes with people with like really thick accents that are just like hard to understand, there might be some errors, but for the most part, I think it's generally pretty good.
Sounds like it'd be better than the iPhone interpretation.
Absolutely, yes ma'am.
My mom has significant hearing loss. When the phone rings, she has a landline in her apartment, she lives with me. But she often doesn't hear the phone ringing, like the TV's on or something like that. And does that amplification device work with our existing landline?
Yes, absolutely. It does. The question is, do the signalers work with pre-existing landlines or the amplified phones? They do. And I'll show you just for reference. This is just what the cell phone signaler, but it can also double as like a telephone signaler, so it would just connect to your telephone jack.
Okay, so the existing landline plugs into that and
Right.
amplifies the ring.
Right, so it would do a ring, this is gonna flash, and then it can also communicate to the alarm clock so that it gives that tactile, the additional alerts and everything as well. Yes, ma'am. Okay, yes.
And maybe you already covered this, but did, so when you do the assessment, do you go to the person's home or
Yeah.
rather than?
Okay, so the question is the assessment, does it go to do we go to their home, do they need to come to the office? So we can do both. Typically, we try to reserve the home visits for individuals who either have no transportation or have limited mobility. But if you do need a home visit, we can provide that, absolutely. Any other questions? Yes.
Maybe this isn't the right question for you, but I'm just asking, I had, custom hearing aids, through an audiologist, and I determined after a year they didn't do me any good at all.
Okay.
So I shelved them away, been away for 13 years. I'm hearing a lot about now things over the counter. Are you familiar with those as to reliability, any kind of worth doing or not trying? Or not?
So, I don't have a lot of information on over-the-counter hearing aids. The only thing that I would say is just to be really careful, because I don't know how much testing has been done on them. And I also know that there's no like restriction of the amplification limit, so you might end up damaging your hearing more. It's just always, it would be best to consult with maybe an audiologist or a medical professional before you try those out. I wish I had more information on it for you,
It's just the
sorry.
devices they gave me were $6,000, and that determined, you know, after a year and a half didn't do anything at all.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely, yeah. I saw your hand go up.
If there's two in the family and they bedrooms are far apart and all of that, can you purchase two different items?
So
Or
like,
is it-
if they both need,
Yeah.
the devices, yeah, we
Okay.
can do, what we would do is do an application in both their names.
Okay,
Yep,
okay. It's
absolutely.
not one per household.
Nope, not one per household.
Can you point us to a list of reputable audiologists or anything that has some place that we can go to find them
Yeah,
in the area?
so the question is, do you have a list of audiologists that are reputable? I don't have it with me today. I know that that's something that we do have, at the agency. I can get your information so I can follow up with you after this if that's okay, and I can send you that information. Absolutely. And then, was it you, sir?
Yeah, the address of the facility in Fredericksburg,
Mm-hmm.
it's not here.
It's not there. The address.
Or if it is, I can't find it. Enrico is not Fredericksburg, Enrico is down to Richmond.
I think okay, yeah. Cause you know what I did? Cause I'm centralizing the application process, so all the applications get filtered through me. But my Fredericksburg address, I can get that for you.
I can send an email out to everybody, so.
Okay.
If you send me whatever. I can-
Okay, perfect, yes. Yeah, cause I don't know it off the top of my head. I know it starts with a 10 and then Spotsylvania Avenue. And that's as much as, I just know how to get there. I'm one of those people, I'm sorry.
Now, is there a listing of all the things that are available, or did you say that already?
So the question is there a listing of all the devices that we have available? So right now, we don't have one available for like the general public. What we typically do is just do the assessment process with everyone and kind of introduce the devices as we go through the assessment. But if it's something like we're having a conversation and you want to do research on some things, I can send you a list of the devices that we have, because I do have it listed for my staff when I go do the trainings with them.
Well, yeah, I've been to an audiologist.
Mhm.
So, and I already have the phone, the captions.
Okay.
So I'm mainly interested in getting a list of things that's available and maybe a little description
Yeah.
of,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll mock something up, and then when I send everything over to be mass distributed out to you guys, I'll make sure that that's included as well.
Do you have a
Absolutely.
website?
We do have a website.
oh, that's another.
It is, Yes, it's on the back of this. It's
would those
bddh.virginia.gov.
Well, would all of those items be on the website?
They're very generalized because we change the equipment so much. We try not to release too much so that things stay current. Any other questions?
Do you have any tie with the VA?
Do I have any
Lowland?
tie with the VA? So we're not like affiliated with them, but we do try to make sure that they're aware of us because of our veteran program. Any other questions? Yes.
Costco has audiologists, I think. They have a hearing section. Can you speak to that as far as how good they are or not good they are or anything like that?
So I don't have any experience with the Costco audiologist, so I wouldn't be able to promote or give guidance on how good they are or who to ask for. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
I can address that. I specifically asked Costco, which is where my mom got her last hearing aid, and we have an appointment with them, with an audiologist, and they said, none of us are audiologists. We are hearing aid specialists.
Okay.
That's different than an audiologist.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
I'm not sure how trustworthy that is versus going to a real trained audiologist.
Right. Absolutely. If anyone didn't hear her, she mentioned that Costco, they have hearing aid specialists, not audiologists on staff. So you might want to consult with an audiologist first before Costco. Yes.
So how old can your, record from the audiologist be?
To come through the program, we're not picky about it. We just have to be able to identify that there's a need for your hearing loss. So that's our requirement.
Like the programming part.
With the programming, for like the cap telephone, depending on how much your hearing needs have changed, it might just kind of be a moot point for the user at that point. It might not be to the amplification that they need. But that's something that we would play with during the installation process, absolutely.
Okay.
All right, any other questions? All right. Well, thank you guys so much for having me. If you think of anything, business cards are out there,
Thank you so much. I was so excited. I heard Bethany speak before, and I, have some hearing loss myself, so I was excited to bring this presentation. So thank you, Bethany. It's so many cool things. So you'll be hearing from us. So I just want to remind everybody to please fill out your survey. It means a lot to our presenter to get some feedback, but also to all of us as we're planning, and the health and wellness team is planning. So don't forget to fill it out and drop it off. And then also, I just kind of wanted to, share with you some upcoming events to make sure that you know about them and know how to get connected. So we have our wonderful Encore Broadway program, which is starting up August 19th. So every Tuesday we hold rehearsals over at Low Church, and it's a lot of fun because we're going to sing Broadway tunes together. And so if you're interested in singing, there's no audition. It's just for anybody, and it's open to the entire community, the entire region, to just, if you're 55 plus, you want to sing with us, please go to our website and you can find out how to get involved. Okay, and then we do have a care partner discussion group that meets from time to time. I think they just had a meeting. I guess Trish isn't here, but it's really a great group. And we also go on tours, so a lot of us are interested in finding out a little bit more about, this rehab center, which I think is the next tour. They're going to a rehab center in Fredericksburg, and also assisted living and other, facilities. And then we're really excited about our annual walk and roll coming up, so we hope you'll make it to that. It's not a huge long walk. We go around the park right here. So if you want to get your exercise, you can go twice, and some people only go, 10 yards, so it's very flexible. But it's a lot of fun. It's both an awareness raising, about the needs of older adults and that we're here and we're thriving and we're having a good time. But also it is a fundraiser for us, but that is optional. There's no cost to participate, so we just invite you to get involved. So again, you can go to our website to get more information. Because it is also part fundraiser, if you are either a business yourself, have a business yourself, or you do business with a local business and you want to invite them to sponsor that walk, we have brochures that we can give to you or give to them, and that really helps us keep these programs going, like the speaker series. And I don't know if you've heard about our new, let me see if I can say it right, music, memory, and movement, and we have a lot of fun with that. We've done singing in rounds and Tai Chi, and we're getting ready to have a drum circle in September, so I hope you'll come out for that. But again, so if you do, you have a car dealership you go to all the time, or a favorite place where you take your dog to get the nails clipped or anything like that, we would just welcome having some businesses support what we do. So are there any other announcements either from LOWLINC or any of you? I know sometimes we have some community groups who like to share something that's going on.
Did you want to tell them what the next couple of speaker series are? Offhand?
I should probably turn the mic over to you for that. Yes, please do come back. We meet almost every month. You should always check the calendar, but we usually, have something every first Thursday of the month. So, all right, Margaret, take it away.
Okay. In October, and they're always the first Thursday of the month, unless they're not, but 9 times out of 10 they are. And in October, we will be doing our annual Medicare update. Jennifer Zamora from Encompass will join us and talk to all of us about any changes or updates in Medicare for the coming up enrollment period. And hopefully she'll have her materials. She never quite knows when she's going to get them, but she's hoping she'll have them. If she doesn't, we normally can go get them from her, and we'll have them at the office. And then in November, we're going to have a senior driving program, and we're really looking forward to that. And then December is open. We haven't quite decided what we wanted to do in December, but we do like to end the year on a very uplifting and optimistic perspective. So if you have any ideas, let us know, and we'll put our heads together and see if we can come up with a presentation for you.
Are we having something in September?
Skip September.
Decluttering. It's not September yet. Thank you. And September,
Good catch.
Kim Mold from Smooth Transitions is going to come and help us all get organized and decluttered. So hopefully we'll see you at those
I'll offer
things.
my house.
Huh?
I'll offer my place first.
Okay. You want to use your place as an example?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Okay, that's all I have. Thanks.
And these will these be in Lake Current?
Yes, most definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, and to follow up on the decluttering, which is a subject near and dear to my heart for a couple of reasons. One, believe it or not, I really do enjoy helping other people declutter and organize. Notice I said other people. And I've also had to go through a lot of downsizing, decluttering myself because, of course, yes, all my parents' stuff came to my house for me to sort, and so it's been a journey. So I'm really excited about hearing from Kim. She's spoken to LOWLINC before, I think, or at least another group in the lake, and she's got some really great ideas. But it also reminds me, we try to help everybody declutter a little bit through our clean out projects. Again, health and wellness team, hooray. And so we have one coming up that this one is going to be going through, those extra medical supplies you might have hanging around, any pull-up briefs. There's a list online that you'll have to double check to see. They're also this year asking for any donations of canned goods or dry goods because they are trying to help people who live with diabetes be able to eat a little bit more nutritiously. And then personal care supplies too, so shampoo and that kind of thing. So I'm going to need somebody to help me out with the date. Jasmine, Jane.
15th,
August
the
15th.
trucks will be parked
15th,
in the lower
yeah.
level parking lot from 11 to 12:30.
Okay, so yeah, Friday, August 15th, from 11 to 12:30, you can drop off those items. We'll have a couple of volunteers with a LOWLINC banner and a couple of vehicles, and we'll take those to the Orange County Free Clinic. And if you are a LOWLINC member and would like to have somebody pick up those items from your house, we can also do that. You would just call the 8x5 number and schedule a pickup. So, and then we're going to work on doing our infamous garage and under the sink clean out. So Fairfax, or listen to me, I'm in Fairfax. Orange County calls it the hazmat clean out, but you get the idea. So that'll be coming up. I think it's October. I'll have to double check when Orange County's doing it. But so anyway, we keep those projects going to assist a little bit. All right. Well, thank you again so much for coming today. We hope to see you next month, and check out the calendar. You know, I'd love to see you all at the Drum Circle, which is coming up in September. Again, that'll be right here at the pavilion. So always lots of fun. All right. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.